So let's talk about healing and Tai Chi. Uh, Bob Gardner here from thebraidedwarrior.com, and what I've talked to you about in another video is the practical value and benefit of Tai Chi. But what we didn't discuss in depth is what it can do in terms of the healing aspect, and that's partly because it's a little murky. The science shows some correlations, but it's really difficult to say, yes, Tai Chi's the thing doing it, or something else. And so what I'm going to give you are a couple of stories. One from one of the people who taught the same style of Tai Chi that I teach, and one from one of my students that happened to her while she was in class. And just as some evidence that there is possibility of health benefits that come from healing. I'll talk about a couple of other things and then we're good. First story, Zheng Manqing created a style of Tai Chi in the 1940s, which I teach. And he was in his teens, he was a sickly young man, and he had tuberculosis early on. And early on, like we're talking late teens, early 20s, he had a diagnosis that he was given about 6 months to live. He'd asked for a second opinion a couple of times, and no go. And so he decided to go all in with his Tai Chi training. He figured if anything was going to help, well, this one boasted some claim. And so he went all in with his Tai Chi training. And so he was doing it like 3 hours a day. This wasn't some sort of feint, oh yeah, he did it 10 minutes here and there. This was an intense practice. And about 3 hours a day, and he went that way for the whole rest of his life. He was consistently training his Tai Chi. And he always said, I'm so grateful for my Tai Chi because it has never failed me. Whenever I've slowed down on my training, I have felt the weakness in my body, but my Tai Chi has never failed me. He lived till he was in his 70s, and he died of a totally unrelated situation, like late 70s. Okay? The second one is from a student of mine who came to class, and she was having sciatic pain in mass amounts. Like, she sits on the computer and does family history work and some other things, and she was having some terrible sciatic pain. Came to class. I didn't know about this. She didn't tell me about this. She just came to the class and followed along, and she told me the first class that maybe she wouldn't be able to stand there the whole time because it was problematic for her. She couldn't do her family history work very well. She couldn't go on the walks that she loved in the neighborhood very well, and there was pain that she was experiencing. Well, about 3 or 4 weeks later, she told me that it was all gone. And she didn't even practice at home much. She did some of the movements that she liked, but it was sporadic. All she did was come to class 1 hour, once a week, and that was it. And I will link below the video of her talking about that. So the third thing I want to talk about is the partner work in relation to Tai Chi. The fact that you're in close proximity with another person and having to deal with all the psychological issues that show up in terms of boundaries and other things can be a very gentle way of starting to help a person out of the fears and the traumas that have held them stuck in their life, and to help them relax in ways that they didn't know they could relax because, well, they're inside their own head. So when you're thinking about Tai Chi for healing, don't rely upon some sort of scientific article to tell you it will or will not. Instead, go to the practice and track what you feel in your body. And if you're seeing results, then by all means keep doing good things. And it may be that it's Tai Chi plus you changed your diet. But make sure that you just pay attention to what you feel, and you will notice some good things, I promise you that, on top of the feelings that it produces and the experiences that you get. But I wanted to address the idea of healing because there's a lot of positive talk about it and then a lot of debunking talk about it. But let's just go practical. Test it out, track what you see, and make a decision from there.